The activity at hand is texting using a smartphone. To complete this activity, you need a smartphone and adaptive equipment such as a stylus. As an occupation, texting falls under social participation, instrumental activity of daily living, also known as IADLs, and leisure. For social participation, texting is an easy way to interact with friends and family and engage in community activities. In the section of IADLs, we have communication management. Texting is considered a form of communication because you are using the smartphone to talk to other people. Under leisure, it's part of the planning process. The idea of texting someone to communicate can help them to plan leisure activities effectively. One client factor to take into consideration is their values and beliefs. Older clients may not believe in having a smartphone or even using technology, while younger clients may rely on their smartphones as their main form of communication. Many things fall under performance skills, a few being finger and wrist flexion, used to hold the smartphone, extension of thumbs or fingers to press the keys. Mobility is not necessary. A person can be on bed rest and still be able to complete the activity. Visually, the client needs to be able to see the buttons that they are pressing. They can have very little strength to hold the smartphone. If a client does not have strength, they can place the smartphone on a flat surface. Texting would also be considered a low energy activity. Processing skills for the activity include attention, sequencing, and memory. The client needs to be able to have the attention span to start and complete the activity of texting. The client also needs to be able to remember and sequence the steps of starting a text message all the way to completing the text message. For communication interaction skills, the client needs to have auditory ability. If using voice controls as an adaptation, they need to be able to hear the phone as well as talk to the phone. Our client is Jenna. She is suffering from carpal tunnel syndrome, experiencing numbness in her hand and arms with pain in her wrists.
So I've heard you've been experiencing carpal tunnel, and is there anything that you find difficult to do with your daily routine and activities?
Texting.
Okay. Have you tried to use any adaptions or just your fingers?
My fingers.
Okay.
The therapist will now use a stylus as adaptive equipment. This will prevent the client from having to extend and flex her thumbs in order to push the buttons, relieving the pain on the carpal joints.
Okay. Why don't we try using a stylus? So you're going to hold it with 3 fingers, and instead of using your thumb, you just have to press whichever button or key that you want to use.
Okay.
Let's give that a shot. How does that feel when you're doing it?
It still hurts really bad.
Okay.
The therapist will now introduce hands-free texting using Siri. This will help the client to not use her hand at all while in the healing process.
Okay. Is that an iPhone that you have?
Yeah.
Why don't we try using voice texting? So instead of using your fingers, we'll just use your voice.
Okay.
So I'll show you an example. Hey Siri, send a text to Jenna Della Valle.
What do you want to say to Jenna Della Valle?
Hi Jenna, what are you doing today?
You're saying, hi Jenna, what are you doing today?
Send.
Ready to send it.
Send.
Done.
All right, why don't you give that a try?
Hey Siri. Text Mom.
What do you want to say to Mom?
What's for dinner tonight?
You're saying, what's for dinner tonight? Ready to send it?
Yes.
Done.
So how do you feel about doing that?
It's much easier.
Okay, so let's.
The client is now able to text at all abilities whenever needed. A few times we suggest not texting is while driving or walking. Texting should not be completed if you are putting yourself in harm's way.
Okay, so let's continue with that, and then we can always grade you up or down. You know, if that's easy, and then your range of motion and stuff is getting better, we can always start using the stylus and adapt to things like that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.